Welcome to the Open Dialogue Podcast. My name is Whitney B. and
I'm JP.
And we have a special guest that does not want to show his face. Who are you?
Riel. I'll take off the mask eventually, but right now I'm cooling.
Riel in the house.
Riel, been real, in every language.
Rhythm in every language.
Yeah.
I love that. Actually, it's kind of like that's one of the things I like about him, huh?
Every idioma.
Is your wordplay, like just in general, like you always have something like that. I'm like so stealing the one thing that you said, like the mindset, like the mind behind the set.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely about to be like my catchphrase. But anyway, so I'm excited because this is the first time we've been back on in a couple months, right? It's been a minute. And it's the first time that we brought somebody on. So I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit, I guess, to give everybody backstory, because we haven't even talked about music mindset on the podcast at all.
I don't even think it was a thing the last time we...
All right. So later on, we'll do some kind of like debriefing of what music mindset is. But Riel performed at an event on June 10th. I caught him at one of, I think it was Bullwhip or Shatora's shows or something like that. And that's kind of how this connection was formed. We actually have to talk regularly because of the events, but I don't know much about you. And that's kind of like, we're going to do this live or on camera.
Sure, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. Isn't that like the worst question in the world? Like, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, my name is Gabriel, so that's where the name Riel comes from. Mm. So it's just a play on my name. Like you said, it's just a word play, but it stands for rhythm in every language. Mm-hmm. So G, that's obviously my first name. That's the first letter of my name. I think for me that stands for general.
Okay.
I'm the one that's in charge. Rhythm in every language. I mean, that's what music is to me. Like it's a universal language.
Gotcha.
And that's just something that's part of like, I guess you could say my brand or who I am. It's kind of funny when you say that you see me, you see like I look different each time you see me. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that I do like, oh, let me look as different as I can each time that you see me. But that's just part of like my artistry. Like,
yeah.
I like to, just express that through the versatility.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say is like, even though you look different every time, I still feel like you're always still you. Like it's never like you are displaying like a whole different character or anything like that. It's just like, I like what you said, like different forms of expression. But what you, what was I gonna say about your music? I like what you just said about like the wordplay of where your name comes from and whatnot. I've listened to a lot of your music, English, Spanish, everything. And I just feel like you have a lot of different vibes, but I don't know, like it's still like, what's the word? Like cohesive or it's like still, I want to say succinct. Yeah. And it's crazy to see that because like you really don't see that versatility like I don't know in a lot of artists, especially like not for me. I really don't see it a lot. I feel like when whoever I like for whatever I like them for is usually that's it. And then like, there are other stuff that's for those people. Right. But like you definitely are versatile and like real in every language or every idioma. How do you say? You said it funny earlier.
Every language.
Rhythm in every language, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, what's your goals? Like as an artist, like what's your big dream? Like, what do you want to do?
I mean, I feel like I just gotta, for me, I just want to keep creating. I just want to stay in that, I want to take this serious as a career. This is not just something that is a hobby for me. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when you're an artist, I don't know if this is just an artist thing, but you're not always putting out music, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not creating, like in the background. People don't see that in the background, what you're going through or what you're you're working on or what you're recording or planning out. And that's that's one of the things that when you get peers or people around you, they're like, yo, are you still making music? And that's like, for me, it's just like, even if I wasn't making money off of this or like this never comes out to nothing, like I'm gonna keep on creating.
Yeah.
And we're just like in a space right now where, just like even meeting y'all was just dope. Cause we just built a connection, and that's what it's, to me, that's what it's about. Just building those networks and influencing people, building together. So I just want to keep going towards that and pushing towards that. And it's also funny because I think that when you're a creative and you're an artist, it's usually the thing that you're least attached to or like the thing that you don't really feel like you put much effort into that starts blowing up. And I feel like we're in that space where if you just keep on creating, like you mentioned, like I just want to go ahead and just not stick to just one lane. So I just want to keep experimenting with different sounds, different languages, different sonics. So for me, I mean, a year from now, I'm still gonna be recording.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be making music.
Yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I just turned 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're younger than I thought. Actually, I don't know. You're younger than I thought.
I look old?
No, I think it's your vibe and energy, and I think it was just an assumption
Light
because
skin
of everybody
Davies.
else's age.
Light-skinned Davies.
Yeah, he did say he was a light-skinned Davies. How often do I like repeat that whole thing? I feel like from the Crockpot Cartel
think
show.
that's funny? Yeah.
I don't know. Like that clip was like that bite is like one of my favorites. It's like better look the other way.
Yeah, I'm glad I got him singing the hook.
Yeah,
I guess it was catchy.
Yeah, that's definitely probably one of the catchier ones that I think you
Yeah,
have.
the other way is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Appreciate
As
that.
soon as I heard that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, remember, I think I
Thank
even
you.
told you, I was like, why did you send that in the first place?
I feel like he did, or I feel like I knew about
And we
it.
just didn't get to it.
I
don't know,
think
but
I did
know
hear
once
it.
I heard that, I was like, oh shit,
Appreciate
that's
that,
got to be
yeah.
on the, you know what I mean,
For
on the
sure.
playlist. So.
Nah,
Yeah.
Good looks.
Yeah.
But,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because you mentioned your versatility and all that. Like, so when did you really like take the music serious? And because of the versatility, like, what were you listening to? Like, who was your influences at that time? When you was really like, yo, I'm gonna take this and like run with this. And was it because you was listening to anything that like really made you feel that way to want to take it further?
I think so. I mean, when I started taking it seriously, I mean, I probably just got to say, like, during this pandemic time, like, just noticing that, as a creative, as an artist, like, you hold the power. Like, everything stopped. You know what I mean? Like, everything stopped. You were at home by yourself when this thing happened. And I just took that time to just really, like, tap into myself or, just try to get in tune with myself. I've been writing, recording, probably like almost coming up on 10 years, but like really taking it seriously, I think is just like, within the past couple years. As far as like influences, I mean, my biggest one has to be Kanye.
Okay.
I mean, you see the mask, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Super versatile. You know what I mean? Like, shit.
like Kanye is a super versatile artist. Like Kanye is definitely one that has really inspired me a lot. Like recently is Bad Bunny.
Okay.
He's just broke that language barrier, and that's
not even just he's broken so many
he got a lot
barriers.
of
Many
fucking
barriers,
shoe
yeah.
collabs now, like sneakers and
Yeah.
all kinds.
Yeah, he definitely has broken a lot of barriers. Like it's crazy because you have like such a calm, like, I don't know, energy, and for those to be like your influences, it's crazy. But I guess that's what you hear in the music, like, you know what I mean, or in like your other ways of expression. It's like not in your like, you know what I mean. You're not just gonna be whatever, all wilding out and hype and whatnot. I had a question though. Maybe not a question, more of God dang, Whitney. When you were talking, so you were talking about earlier, what the hell? It was before you asked him something. Fuck, Whitney. I knew I shouldn't let you interrupt me. Anyway, so I really wanted to kind of touch on more of like the part of you find like getting to know yourself, like because that's what I heard before you referenced COVID or before he asked you that is like, you know, like when you said what you were doing with like music and whatnot, I feel like the way you described it is like you are in that like prime element to like really just dig deep and get to know yourself, figure out, like you said, listen to sounds, figure out what you really, what you want to put out there, trying everything. That's, I don't know, that was just like more of a note, I think, than any.
Sonics, I think that's what he said.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, I mean, like, I guess kind of just like expand on that, like tuning into myself, like, you know, it's just finding that balance. Like, I think, like, when I first started making music, it was just music. Like, it didn't matter, you know, as far as, like, what else was going on. It was just music. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, for me, like, it kind of took away from myself. Like, and that was just kind of more so, like, when you start making music, you're more so, like, imitating the artists that you listen to, like your influences. And it was pretty obvious in my earlier music. Like I was like trying to sound like Lil Wayne. I was trying to sound like Drake. And you know, that's just how you start out. But like throughout the years, I think I just found like other things to try to put my energy into, to where I'm not trying to force things, because writer's block happens. You know what I mean? Writer's block, we get burnt out.
Life.
So, yeah, we were just talking about that. Like, so some of the things that like I like to do, just, you know, I can only speak from my experience, but I like to just, you know, like to meditate, take that time. I always have to meditate. That's just one thing that I've incorporated within the past couple years. I've been practicing yoga.
Okay.
That's just something that's just like, you know, when things get too stressed out, like it's just good for me. Like, and I've suffered from injuries, so that's helped out a lot. And it may seem like these things are not even connected with the music, but that's all energy.
Yeah.
Like, even the sounds, like when you're more aware, when you're like in tune with yourself, you notice more things. You just feel more creative. You just feel that flow.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
It just comes right out. You don't have those extra distractions, whether it's mental or physical or whatever. So that's good, taking care of both.
Yeah.
The yoga, you know what I mean?
That's like the constant, like that's like the ultimate, I don't know, battle in life is like figuring out, like figuring out what yoga is for you. Like, what is your thing that's going to be like for me? It's crazy you said the yoga, because I've been saying I want to do my stretches. Like it's crazy. It really like, I don't know, it releases something like that extra stuff or whatever. But you work out every morning, like, you know what I mean?
I barely get the
but
stretches
even
in. I try to get them.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is more of, it's like the battle trying to get down to like, so what you're doing with your artistry is like the same thing in life, what you just did, what you've been doing in life, meditating, yoga, like finding out those little things, like those life hacks, and that are for you, like, you know what I mean? Your blueprint is not going to be mine. So I want to pivot a little bit. What are your, like, okay, I want to talk about music, like the industry and artistry and business, being creative in business. So you said you want to take it seriously, and we talked about, you know, a bunch of different things, but what about like the actual career path of it? Like, what are your thoughts? Where's your head going? How have you thought about that? Like, on your artistry as a business? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm thinking as in, if you're an artist, you're a business. I mean, that's just what it is nowadays.
Sometimes, yes,
you
nowadays,
it's just like now what it is. Like, I think that's what Kanye said too. Like,
I feel like if you're in business, you're an artist. I don't know that everybody an artist is in business.
Yeah.
If
you're taking it seriously, though, you got to move like a business. And as far as for me, I mean, like I said, I would do this shit for free. But there's just so many opportunities. Like, I've tried to feel like certain times when I have kind of maybe second guess myself as far as like, yo, maybe I'm not an artist. Maybe this is what I'm at. And it's good to try these different things, but I always come back to the music. So for me, it's like I'm just gonna keep creating music, and I don't see myself not being a successful artist. I mean, that's not like trying to sound like, you know, like you talked about the delusional voice.
Yeah.
That is a little bit of that, but you always need that.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like with what I have, it's just about putting that out there. Mm-hmm. And there's always going to be a team behind that. So I see the career path going where I feel like I just got to invest on the team. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm learning more about. Without a team, I mean, like you guys, I'm sure you guys understand that you guys are a team yourself. And, you know, I've just kind of been doing, when I would say before I really started taking it seriously, was more so like, yo, let me do this all on my own, like, and that's cool. You know, you could take that route, like you're Russ,
Right.
You know, you could brag about all that shit, but that's why there's other people that are, in my opinion, that are specialized in those areas. Like right now, what we're doing, this podcast, I think this is dope. Like I wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on this. And yeah, just investing in the team, like whether it be videographers, photographers, you know, kind of with you guys, I'm learning a little bit more about like the booking and all that, but like it's about the team. That's what I'm really realizing. You put that money back into that, it's about the return on investment. And if, for me, I see that being so much more than what it is right now.
Yeah. I want to, so it's with the artist, with creatives in business, I think that it's crazy because I feel like exactly what we just said, everybody in business is an artist, right? Or they just kind of go hand in hand these days. But I think that there's like an overall misconception on the path to get there, or maybe it's like the pipeline dream, like everybody, you know, we think that we just got to pump out content and that somehow we're going to make it. But like you said, you're investing into the team, and there's so many other things that you can do, or that not just artists, creatives, anybody really can do to like build a career path and monetize. But for the now, like you know, a lot of our ups and downs when we're people with big dreams, right? We go to the delusional shit, we're up here, and then we drop back down, because if we don't get quite to what we thought or whatever, then we're like, oh, like you said, am I actually an artist? Yeah. Like, that's how I would, like, am I actually meant to do music mindset? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here struggling with the microphone. I'm like, am I actually a speaker? But those are those times you go through, right? Mm-hmm. But I wanted to, like you said, you mentioned the bookings. Those are little things like if as artists or whatever, those are things like you make money now. That's a job, like that's a career. Like you get paid to go do those things. And then finding different ways to make money off of your music, your art, or everything that you do. It's really hard, right? And it's hard, and I feel like I lost my train of thought.
Making money as an artist.
No, it's hard, but it's also the stigma behind it. I feel like in this industry, it's like you either make it and you're good, or like, I don't know, like I feel like that boots on the ground hustle, it's respected, but it's not respected in the sense of like when you're doing it like as an actual business. I don't know how else to explain what I'm trying to say, but like, you know, the guy that's like, you know, putting in the work, doing everything, but hustling, like almost all of you guys, how I see you guys are professionals. Right? You guys aren't just putting out music and hoping that it's going to go. I feel like you guys work together. You are trying different things. The thing is, I want to know is about the money. What are some ways that you can make money off of what you're doing now, like, and it not be a bad thing? You know what I mean? And not be a, like, what was the guy we just talked to who's talking about like the capitalism, and he was so scared. Guys, you have no idea how many people we talk to, right? And we get down, they come up with a great idea. They're like, yeah, I could do this, that. Yeah, I'm down, blah, blah, blah. How much? Crickets.
Crickets, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows how much. Nobody knows how to price their art. Nobody knows how to price those things. And before I even talked about it, I wanted to kind of like, that's what I want to get a little bit more from you on anything that you're doing or things you'd like to do or stuff like that, specifically for your artistry as a business for now, not platinum and whatever, or Kanye status.
I mean, for real, the simplest way to answer that is like just having my own studio, having my own recording space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you start out as an artist, you go to studios to pay like $50 an hour, like
more someplace.
you know what I'm saying? That's just like a like a base, like $50 an hour. You add that up. You want to record 10 songs. It's not gonna take 1 hour to just mix everything, get everything right. Having I got my own recording space, and that in itself is an investment. Like you gotta get your, if you don't want to invest into like the software, which that's just the starter, getting the digital audio workspace. If you can't even afford, like if you don't feel like you want to pay for that to actually make music, then it's like like you said, you're just an artist. You're not really wanting to take it to the next level. Like that's one of the simplest ways that I can.
Yeah. You've gone back to, like, I love it. Your word of the day is investment. Like right now you're in a season of putting into yourself and what you're doing seriously. Like, I like that. Like, do your studio, is it at your house or do you set it up?
Just a simple setup. Just got my mic, got my MacBook, interface. You get a little setup, maybe get some soundproofing. That's all you need. You don't need like, so many people want to like, oh no, I'm gonna wait until I get my whole setup and everything. Like that's not necessary. That's
and you mix it the way you want, right?
Yeah, you can mix it how you want it. You can take that time into
that's
it.
Like a lot of of making it sound good and everything. Like you could be thinking in the booth like, oh shit, I'm rapping my ass off or whatever. And then the mix is trash and the song's just gonna be trash. You know what I mean? No matter what you're saying. So like, I'm glad you say that because I think a lot of artists up and coming and whatnot, they like completely overlook that. So that's very important. You got to invest in yourself, get the proper equipment. Yeah. It costs, but you're going to reap that reward.
But not only that, he said like what he said, like with the investment, it's now you bought yourself the time to actually build and perfect your own sound, right? Yeah. You're not leaving it up to somebody else. Like, I'm not saying that that's bad or anything like that, but you, in this season that you are in of figuring it, like, you know what I mean? You're investing in yourself, you're building and everything. That's like,
I still, I don't mix all my stuff. I gotta shout that out to my brother, Michael Milner. He's the one who mixes and masters most of my stuff, but I get the rough draft, you know what I'm saying? At least that way. That's also a way where I've kind of like just played with sounds, like played with my voice. Like I don't have to, I'm not in a studio waiting for like, hey, you got, so and so much time left. Like, we got to get a verse out. I'm just in my own space. Like it's just
you gave yourself like a really
if you're
good,
an artist. I think like I don't think there's any way you could call yourself an artist. You could go to these studios if you've got those connections. But if you're, starting from ground zero, you got to have that base. You got to have that where you can just go to where, you don't have to pay. You don't have to hit someone else out.
Well, I think what you were saying earlier about like utilizing other people and investing, and also what we were talking about earlier, like with customizing your own thing, it's like you got to figure out what you have available to you and then figure out what you have to invest in, right? Like, so if you're a person that has like somebody with a bomb studio that you have access to and it doesn't interrupt your creative process, right? But you need I don't know, whatever else it is, like that looks different, but you have to be able to give yourself the time and invest in whatever it's going to be. It's not going to be you're going to get handouts, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But figuring it out for yourself. And I like what you said because, first of all, I just stepped into this industry, like, right? And I and it's kind of baffling. We've talked about this plenty of times, but like, I literally don't know half the, like, y'all could talk about an artist or a song. I don't know anything. Like, when we talk about like certain terms or like, I don't know the difference between mixing, mastering, whatever. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
happens there. I have no clue, right? But I know that there's a person that does it,
Yeah.
right? And there's, but what I've learned, and you actually even like kind of like affirmed or confirmed for me, like, I'm interested in, it's all about sound. That's all I've been talking about for, I don't know, at least a year now. Like, at the whole world, it revolves around sounds, and it's not intricate. It's like there's split seconds, but they have to be very, very intentional. Like, you know what I mean? But I like have been getting excited about like just going through the playlists and all that stuff. And whenever I wanted to like learn, when I reached out to you, like, hey, who can help me with the DJ equipment? I know that sounds outlandish, right? But I know what I want, and I feel like I can try to explain it to everybody, but like, it's never going to work because I need to do it. And I don't need to have like this crazy, like huge, like club DJ setup and all that stuff. And at first we went straight to the Guitar Center, played over there. I'm like, we're about to get it. I still am going to get it. But I downloaded an app. To understand and I've been watching videos. I literally don't have any kind of equipment, but I know that when I actually have mine in like front of me, when I actually get it, I'm going to be like so much more prepared. Like, and I'm probably overly confident in what my abilities are, but it's because
Gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, that's a delusion, right? But I really know like a lot of the struggles that I've had with a lot of like just in general with me trying to put all these things together is because I didn't take the time to invest into the tools or the crafts or the things that I need to or want to be in control of that I'm actually, you know what I mean? Like I've been like, hey, Shatora, can you do this? Shatora, can you do this? And I have no idea how to explain it to her. And she's like, I can try. I don't know, right? But then when I actually sit down and I'm like, oh, this is why, when you were talking about the queuing for the event and like what I was like so freaking out about this event had everything to do with the timing of the sound. And that was why I was so frustrated and flustered and I could not get it together with that because I was hearing it a certain way. And now I have to I'm learning and I got my app. And I know what some of my controls mean. I know that I can figure it out. I can hear it. I don't know what they're called, but I know when I do this, I hear where it goes.
Got DJ Whitney on the boards.
I'm about to be
DJ
out here.
Mindset with.
Yep, because
Mindset. Oh, that's the DJ name?
No,
No.
that's an inside joke.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Fuck the
shit.
name up.
No, you can say his shit. He be calling people out. Like Sonny Horgan recorded the damn video from the event, and he put my name as Mindset Wit. But that's like everywhere, and I'm like, I mean, I get it, like whatever, because I go by Wit, and then my thing is Mindset Whitney B. But like, it's like, no. So like, I have to go back and edit that.
Yeah.
And it's like everywhere. Like it's not even like, I don't know who he called. He did all kinds of like whatever things, but no, it's not Mindset Wit.
You can't really fuck mine up unless you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He got his right.
PJ?
Yeah, you said TJ.
He might have.
Nah, I don't think
Nah. No, he called Kaleem Khalif though. He wrote Khalif. I mean, that's listen, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong. This is open dialogue. There's nothing wrong with understanding like where your skill sets and stuff like he got his own talents and whatnot and remembering names and stuff, ain't it? But cause I be doing that shit all the time. But yeah, anyway, Mindset Wit. No, I'm Mindset Whitney B, I guess for now.
Just Whitney B.
Yeah. Anyway. So what else we got to talk about? I was lost for a second because I was thinking about that. I got to go get that controller. It's the DDJ 400. It's the most basic, but versatile thing that everybody uses.
Starting out, right?
When I look at everybody's YouTube channels, I can follow along because they're using that controller. So I'm like, all right,
They
we're
know
good.
where everything's at.
Yeah.
You watch them do it, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
This-
Except I really do want that other one because where I like naturally reached where I thought the Q button was, like on the one that I want to, that everybody says to buy, it's right here. But the other one, it's like where I naturally, like I went to reach for. And
You
so
need the touch screen one.
that's too fancy. That's too bougie. We good. I don't want to mess anything. I need to learn how to do that part.
That's a little too advanced.
Yeah. So, anyway, what, actually, what did you think about the, be nice, but about the music mindset experience or the concept? We haven't talked about it at all. So I'm going to let you kind of introduce it, see if you're right or not.
Yeah. There's a right and wrong answer.
No, there's not.
I mean, I only got nice things to say about
I can
it.
give you
mean,
multiple choice. So sorry.
I think it was like I said. I think like it was definitely, it was something new, but I love the whole like idea behind it. Like you are what you listen. Your life, what was it? Your life is
You are
a
what you listen to.
reflection.
You had it right,
You are
yeah.
what you listen to. I mean, that's just plain out a fact. At least for me, like, you know, depending on what you're listening to. If you're always like listen to like depressing music or like sad music, you're gonna get involved into that energy. But the energy in with the artists that you guys selected, I think was dope. Like as soon as, like I said earlier, as soon as it picked up, it was just flowing. Like everybody was there, like just showcasing their talent, and I think it was a good selection of artists that performed. Like nobody
Nobody
was whack. I mean,
Yeah,
being
that's at
honest.
zero
You know what I mean?
duds.
Like,
My
there's
first
nobody was whack.
lineup.
I'll be like, you know, if someone was whack, you know, we would have had to call them out. But
Yeah.
no, it was a dope show. Like, and just meeting these other artists like that are not so far from here. Like, you know, like it's just dope. Like, Sonny killed it. You know, Shatora killed it. Bull killed it. Like everybody there was just like, just on the same page. And what you brought to it, I thought was dope too. Just incorporating the delusional mind, just bringing in like the creative mindset of how everything works. I mean, you really are the mind behind the set.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So were you, see, it's hard because this is a struggle as artists. It's hard to get the artist to truly experience. Like, I feel like what you would have to say from your experience versus like a regular person that's there it's hard because you artists critique other artists. You guys are listening to the music. You're listening to like everything, right?
That's true.
But I do feel like did you walk away with anything? I think is what I really wanted to ask you. It's like, what were you able to walk away from it with? Not just the artists, if you were, and it's okay if you weren't. I'm just like, that's where we're struggling, is trying to figure out how to get it to the artist to hear it and experience it like from that perspective.
I mean, I think the dialogue was important, and I think it's just about the setting. So, you know, I think it's hard not to look at it as an artist.
I know.
Just because it's just like, you know, I'm biased by
Did you
nature.
leave like maybe thinking different about something? I don't know. Like
Or inspired or
finances,
motivated
inspired.
maybe, or
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
think
for
about
sure.
anything
I
like?
mean,
Like maybe the way you listen to music now, maybe a little more intentional. Not that it wasn't before, but maybe like fine tune certain things now that maybe you notice you pick up on now. Like, oh shit, since that.
I have a better way to ask that question. So like when we went through it and like like especially with like Shatora's because I feel like Shatora was the most where I like kind of like emphasized like the analogies. Were you able to tap into like your give me that or all in my bag energy and like bring yourself to a time to that like throughout the process, which again I know it's hard because that was you were involved in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was.
I mean, just hearing those stories does like bring a different perspective to it. Like you mentioned, like it's not that I wasn't intentional or like I don't have this perspective of things, but like hearing it from someone else is definitely, it's always a breath of fresh air because you know, I can't speak through your guys' lenses or experiences, and hearing that, like just the vulnerability of it, I think is dope. Like I took that away from it. Like even it was Kaleem. He was telling his story. He was very vulnerable with what he was talking about, and he incorporated that with just being that like go-getter, where he knew he had that mindset. You know, like music mindset. That it was just it's dope hearing those stories. That's where I was like, I think incorporating the dialogue was important, and I took that away from it. Okay. Like it's just like. And also, like, from the artist side, like, I sometimes when I was saying that, like, artists have songs that they don't particularly are like, it's okay, you know, I put that out, whatever. And, like, when people were like, yo, like, the Lograr, the Spanish song, I mean, I was kind of surprised that people were, like, rocking with it like that. They don't understand it, but it's still something that I guess they were able to get something out of it, which I thought was dope. Yeah.
I kind of wish I would have pushed a little bit whenever you chose Lograr over Fuerte. I really feel like I wish I would have pushed you to like,
Fuerte?
Yeah.
Fuerte,
Yeah,
okay.
because
I feel it.
Fuerte.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a vibe. Like people that hear it that don't understand the language, they still feel it. I mean, it's both the same. Like to me, like that's that real in every language. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't. Yeah. It comes through. But I know a lot of people have really fucked with that, like, because that those were the two songs that were on the set list for a minute before we got the other way, right? But yeah, that, and why did you choose Lograr over that one? Or it's just
I like that song more.
Okay.
Personally, I did listen to Fuerte after that, and then I did think the same thing. I was like, maybe we should have done Fuerte, but we'll do it for the next one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was like, yo, Fuerte is kind of hard.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That's the first song I think we heard.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's the one that was the one that like made me reach out.
I was like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Like, cause we really, it's crazy how this has all come together. It really is crazy. Like, it's just crazy. We got to get a shot like on here, just because she can attest to like some like just how crazy like the progression of all this has been.
Because you've been around for most of it.
Yeah, all of it. You got to think she edits it too, so like she gets to experience it multiple times. Exactly. I wanted to tell you, like, the event though, like the feedback that I got from the people that are not artists was crazy. Like, we had the one dude, I don't know if you caught, like he cried he said he cried twice, and he said it was the second time with the Getaway when I had Fantasy do his again.
Oh yeah.
That second time he said that shit hit him. That it hit him, right?
They were forced to really be in it.
Yeah. And then
that voice. Woo.
Yeah. He's got another one that he just it's trending. I forget what it's called. Yeah, that fool, like, I haven't talked to him in like 3 or 4 days, but the night of the event, the Getaway had 300,000 streams. Then like less than a week later, it had 800,000 streams on Apple Music. And I haven't talked to him in a couple days to see where he's at now. But I can tell you, when I first caught him, it really wasn't like that. I was just like
that?
Yeah, I was like, nah, like there's something, like, you know what I mean? And then just watching like and then he just booked another show in Georgia, and he performed for us that was the first time he performed in a couple years, 3 years. Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, that's what I love about Music Mindset. I feel like we're pulling people out the trenches. Everybody I've talked to, they're like either says something along the lines that they've been slacking, or they just whatever, and they're like, now they're like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like, you know, the opportunity, like, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. I love hearing that more than anything. That Music Mindset, I love having the platform for the artists to be able to actually get their music out and get people to listen to it, because we listen to 15 seconds of a song and we have no idea what the artist is really trying to say. Like when we're, you know what I mean, on TikTok and whatever, and Reels and whatnot. So like, that's the whole goal. It's like not just for me and my agenda. It's like, I want people to come and listen to the music. Like, they had to listen. I share y'all songs all the time, the clips and whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't listen until they were right there. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's the only, I want people to listen. I really wish that I could like have some kind of analytics. Like, I wish I could just see just a list of people, like if they actually listen to what songs they listen to afterwards. Maybe we should do a survey or something. I asked about like the favorite songs or favorites. My uncle liked All in My Bag. He loved that. So he loved All in My Bag. He was the whole ride home. He was in his bag. He was still there. Like, I don't even think he heard
Roger.
Yeah, Uncle Roger. I don't think he heard anything else.
Big homie, yeah.
He said, he said, I'm your host, Raj, doing it again. I'm like, oh, so you're the host? All right. He's definitely going to be the official live host.
He's gonna be the MC, the host.
The lives, yeah. I'm gonna have him. I really am gonna have him go on.
His energy's dope.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's hilarious, and it's funny because he's always wanted to be a comedian, and that's where we kind of got through the therapy session in the car when he was all in his bag, and like. Comedy, art, music, whatever, it's all an expression. It's all like whatever. And I'm like, all right, so what we doing, a comedy mindset next? Like, you know what I mean?
I ain't doing no stand-up.
Nah, just
telling a story through laughs.
Yeah, I mean, but you can incorporate all that in one event, and that's what we did. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about the feedback was just like overall, people were really. I feel like not everybody, there's 3 that I can think of, really have drastically already made like leaps and bounds to change their life. Like Deanna, the one girl, the lady, she was there. She has been following me for years on podcasts and stuff. And we just met in person a couple months ago, and it was, whatever. I was going to coach her. And then I'm just like, she came to the event and she works for us now. Like, you know what I mean? Because she just doesn't want to do what she was doing. She don't want to work for no, and I'm like, listen, what I've been telling everybody, you can do this and make money and, and do what you love. There's ways to do it. Now, is it always going to be like happy? No, but, I don't know, just the motivation, just the reflections that I saw and people actually making taking action. That's what the beautiful thing that I saw. Yeah. And then when I just want to do it while we're on air because that way I'll remember that I wanted to do it. What I was telling you about with the money thing, the event, it's, I want to ask you a question. When you were younger, since you're definitely musically inclined, what's a song, I feel like I already asked you this, but I don't know the answer. What song would you say most influenced your perspective on money or your perception of money?
Perception of money?
And it doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. I feel like I want to tell you who I think it is that he's going to say, who Mark said.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you think you think the song, you already know what the song
I don't know the
say?
song. I think I know the artist.
Yeah, like the.
I haven't thought about that actually. I was gonna say "Money Cash Hoes" by Jay-Z just to, but no, that's
yeah.
She was thinking more Cash Money. But
I was thinking Money Record. I was thinking more Lil Wayne,
Yeah, bling,
bling, like that kind of like
for the brothers.
Because your age is what I was kind of thinking.
I would say actually,
that's a hard.
Probably that the Carter 2, like that Birdman era. But nah, I guess I gotta go with Jay-Z. Yeah, Jay-Z is always like the first one that just like.
Jay was mine too, not that song, but Jay.
Yeah.
If you were now that you have a second to think, would you still pick Money Cash Hoes or would you? What do you think?
No, Money Cash Hoes is just a joke, but
I feel like everybody has 2 songs. Everybody has a ridiculous one and then another one.
But.
Like
you said when I was a child though,
or teenage, whenever, yeah.
Like whatever age when you were really listening to music.
Like yeah, I'll tell you, his was. You can tell him yours.
It's Jay-Z, Imaginary Player. was one of the songs.
Okay.
And then mine is For the Fam, by Emil with everybody who's in it. Memphis, Beanie Siegel, this time is for my family. We ride or die. It's in the blood to the death now. Aim for the sky, my foe blow for sure for the phone. It's money, drugs, and hot slugs. You know, Bleak squeeze him until they nail me. Sorry. Fucking
have to
tell
go,
me.
like, more recently, man, what is that Jay-Z song? It's off the 444 album.
It's not 30 something, is it?
OJ.
No, 30 something isn't that like the
That's-
Blueprint? This is the 444. This is
Yeah,
the most
isn't that one on there?
The story of OJ.
Story of OJ. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Which one am I thinking of?
You think-
I just said third. Okay, never mind. I know why I said that.
Yeah, that was like.
Yeah.
That's like.
Yeah. What song?
I would say.
I said 30 something because Kaleem said he said the story of OJ and then he said 30 something and I don't know why that just came.
Another one I gotta say, a Millie.
Oh.
A Millie by Lil Wayne, just cause a Millie, like.
See, my ridiculous one is Shine by Lil Wayne. I don't know why. Like I just
that's
like that
hard.
song.
That's
yeah.
hard.
And then the other one is
My
more.
head down to my shoes.
Shit.
22.
It's
I
just
mean, it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just has that feeling of like abundance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
yeah.
A Millie's just a fun song.
So going into that, because basically I just asked you that because like that's where music mindset came from, was me start asking those types of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I ask you like, okay, well, what did you learn about money growing up? It's like it's hard to answer.
Yeah.
But whenever I hear even just a couple of the artists and the songs that you reference, I like already have a good understanding of what you were seeing, what you were feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can go back and be like, hey, all right, so now when you said like a milli represents abundance, right? Like that's what everybody's ridiculous song is always that. It's just like, yeah, like, you know, what bling bling. Somebody just
All about
said
the Benjamins.
Somebody just said Money Cash Hoes too.
Baby.
Oh, somebody
I
said
don't know.
that
See,
too.
I know like two lines for me would be the one Jay where he says, you should buy like fuck leasing, you should buy the whole car like we do.
Uh-huh.
You know, because
But
me.
that's how he
Oh, that-
lives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then of course the Biggie, Hypnotize, you know, Reckon by a New One.
Yeah.
Those lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Just
like
some
you said,
player
she-
shit.
so she knows because she's known me for
Yeah,
for a while,
and he
so
really
she
lives
knows
it.
I live like that. So when I heard those, you know, I mean, well, those are a little older, so they were more like my inspiration. But then once when I was able to actually live them and then realize, like when I don't know, you know, the songs be on random sometimes, and then I just hear the lyrics, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually living that now.
Yeah,
you
it's
know, it's just
different.
you feel like
Yeah,
it's a
so
different
like
feeling.
going back to which we weren't able to fully get out at the event because I cut a lot of the talking parts and stuff out. But with you, what we were able to talk about, what you learned or what you identified. I don't know if you remember at the event when we were talking about using 10 years, Shatora's song, and going back and finding that first spark and where the first time you saw Alfredo, right? So we brought it to that. And the one J's line, what did you say about leasing? I forget what it was.
yeah, fuck leasing, you should buy the whole car as we do.
So whenever I ask him about like his childhood and all of that, his dad preached that. Like you're not even it's just like that's just like how they don't lease anything. They went without and then they got whatever. You get the whole shit and you ball for real. Like you know what I mean? It's either you don't or you do. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
And
you don't want to be worried about no possibility of someone saying, hey, you
Yeah.
got to give that back now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah.
So, but you can see that, and that was like that's where the concept or what we're building here goes into, and that's what I wanted to focus more on that for possibly for the next event or another one. But I want that to be a little bit more like at the brewery. I think that would be cool, like because it's a little bit more intimate. And where was I going with that? Oh, but taking that and using the songs to identify, like now, not just the songs that you heard perform. Now you can tap into what you actually listen to.
Yeah.
So like figuring out why, you know, you said Amelia represents abundance, what you saw in that, and then that's that delusion part that's going to carry you through if you recognize whatever it is in that song, or whatever, if you find a way to correlate it. And then also, what was your real song that you said? It said it was Jay-Z, but I forget which one you actually chose.
OJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, see even me hearing that, like, I feel like I get it just because your parents are inmigrantes, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that I don't know if they are, but like, you know what I mean? Like, but like, that's, I get it. Yeah. So like, understanding that, like, your real core, this is like a whole thing. We're gonna wrap up soon. But there's a whole core, right? What was I saying? Let me get it together. Yeah, with the story of OJ, that's your background, right? Yeah. Like that's where you come from. Like, that message, it to me is more correlated with your base. Yeah. And then the other one is more where you're going, where you want to go. Right. So identifying those things and then figuring out in between, that's music mindset. And then the financial part is just now adding in the actual resources and techniques. Now that I feel like I've drilled the concept down into you guys, like, that's where we're really going. Like, I want all of you guys to make money doing it, whatever, but recognizing what that means to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your baseline is completely different than his, because his baseline is like, you know what I mean? They lease, and the way that you were, we talked about that too, but y'all's baselines are just different. But then when you saw that Project Players, right? Everybody still has that abundance, a milli, bling bling, shine, whatever, all about the Benjamins, delusional vision, right? I mean,
unless you come from opulence and extravagance, I mean, I think all of us kind of like.
But even when you come from that, there's still a foundation of something down there that's like.
Yeah, okay. I know, but I'm just saying, like, as far as to have those, like you said, those ridiculous, when you mentioned those other songs, I think it's like, I think, it's, everyone growing up kind of has those illusions, and then those songs kind of just like help you picture it a little bit more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Until you kind of like, and you fine tune it, tailor it to how you make it fit to you, how you want it to. The parts that really speak to you, you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm with it. I can't wait to build on that. Like, that's why I have like all the people that we have, like, trying to get the administrative stuff, because I feel every person that I've talked to is a part of some kind of like collective, right? And that's what we're trying. It's like but in the most massive way, I'm really trying to do this. Like, I'm not you're not. No,
collective.
No, but I'm sure you know somebody that's a part of one, right? It's like, I feel like it's a common phrase lately. Everybody.
I think a lot of people just.
You described your own collective though, because you have your videographer, you have your guy, you have your own whatever. Yeah. So everybody's kind of like tapping into their own networks.
I guess in a sense it is, but.
I guess I don't necessarily mean it in the sense of like a technical collective. I'm like just saying, that we collectively are working.
I hear what you're saying.
And so I've heard that, but what I guess what's different and unique is we're trying to expand this in a bigger way, like the most general thing, music, a song, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why I can't wait to do the Mad Libs thing. That's gonna be so dope. Like I'll tell you guys after.
You can't say it on?
No, I can. It's like not relevant. The Mad Lib, it's like basically what the coach, you know what Mad Libs is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Producer?
So,
the legendary producer, Mad Lib? Are you talking about something
She's
completely
talking
different?
about the word shit, right?
You gotta get on You gotta get on Mad Lib because you're the master of.
I was so confused.
You're too young, I think.
I know who he's talking about too, but I know you meant the word.
Did you know what the Mad Libs is? Oh, okay.
I was thinking about.
I feel like
music.
that's
I was
like right
yeah,
before our. It's like right on the cusp. Like, but anyway, so it was like a little workbook, and you go and it's like you put in like verb, pronoun, whatever, and you fill it in, and then it tells a story. But you basically create your own story because with the words that you pre-filled first. They like.
Okay.
So what I want to do is kind of the same thing that I said to you guys, but with people at like doing a specific question like that, like figuring out their songs, but then now making them do it with their own playlist.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So instead of all in my bag and give me that, you would have Millie and the story OJ.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going through the actual process, like on the, you know what I mean, the coaching process on the back end, at home at your own leisure, listening to it, vibing, learning, growing, all that good stuff. But that was, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's funny that you don't know that.
I was no idea what you were talking about. I was thinking about something completely different.
I feel like definitely before. I feel like it's really before all of our time.
I never really fucked with it like that.
It's like with those highlights magazines. You remember those?
Oh shit, highlights.
You remember those?
It's like
Highlights. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like something kind of like those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me.
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
more
too.
specific though to just like the filling in the word shit though, right? Highlights was an actual magazine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like a reference to the time when like those types of print products were like circulating with the
Yeah, back
randomness.
then.
Yeah.
Back in the day, back in the good old
Where's
days.
Waldo's, all them random like, you know, Archie. Those days they were like the stuff for the shitter. That's what it was. Like the
That's
Mad
what they-
Libs was for the bathroom. Like you sit in the bathroom and it
yeah.
was like there.
Okay, I think
you're
I know what
like-
you're talking about.
and
Oh
you-
shit! Back at that time, I thought that's what TV Guide and Playboy was for.
I feel like that's for y'all advanced bougie mofos that was like buying and not leasing. Like we had Archie comics and Mad Libs in our bathroom.
Yeah, I didn't get HBO till this past year. So.
What was that?
I didn't get HBO till this past year. So.
I ain't have
Shit,
cable.
I had to
So.
cut all the fucking premium direct TV shit. They done fucking came up like $80 or something for it. All of a sudden, I seen the bill was over $200. I was like, what? And it was. I would like they didn't even add like the Playboy channel or no shit like that. It was
It's just
still
like-
just
It's like,
regular.
damn.
It was just
Ain't
like
even get
what
no
I've been
Playboy
getting.
on
It's
this,
like, yeah,
bro?
you got all the
Yeah.
pay channels, but
No nip
the
slips
bill
or
is
nothing.
like, yeah, the bill is like a lot more now. I'm like, nah.
Better
fuck
ask
all
for that.
All right.
Fuck all that. I'll just get the subscriptions then. What the like HBO Max?
Yeah, he just been logging in all of my stuff. I pay more. I feel like
Whatever,
I
I
pay
got
more
my
now.
own.
Okay, that's how I've been
I got
logging
my
in.
own
That's why I'm saying I
Netflix.
just now got it.
And HBO Max, and I think I'm gonna have to get the Showtime shit because I forgot there's shows and shit that I like on that. So I'm
We're
gonna have
too
to get
busy
that
to
one.
watch TV. We
I
got
know
shit to
that's
do.
the only reason why I haven't gotten it yet. Because you know I would have as soon as as soon as I told him to take that shit off, I would have gotten it. But we ain't had time.
Well, I don't know. This is good. We went way long. We've been going for almost an hour. Yeah, and that's like, but I'm solid. I'm good with it. Do you have anything you need to promote? You want to like, what are you working on? What are you putting
Yeah,
out
any
there?
new music?
New
or
music,
anything?
new
shows coming up?
drops.
Yeah. I mean, my last video that I dropped was The Other Way.
Okay.
It was good.
Shout out
You
to
know,
Vince because he's go host.
Shout out Vince.
Yeah.
Man. Vince.
The-
We went up with that video. That's
Shit,
my
that's
most
what's up.
probably viewed video. I mean, got over 1,000 views. It's not like nothing crazy, but it was just dope because it was very,
So, yeah, man.
very just. It was just like natural, like just linking up with him. I wasn't thinking about no views, but that's my last release. For this next release, I think I just want to. I was kind of speaking to you both about it. Like I'm just going with the Spanish. Like
Yeah.
I'm inspired by Bad Bunny. I feel like I can articulate this, get those sounds out in Spanish, and you don't really gotta know what I'm saying. You just gotta vibe out. It's the summer, and like for me, it's about the seasons. And right now, it's summertime. You know?
Yeah.
So
What's up, man?
I want to get out just some reggaeton, some Latin trap. So just
Oh, I want to hear you more that vibe a little harder.
some Latin trap.
Yeah.
I got some Latin trap.
I can
joints.
hear it too. I could like even
I
when you
can
said it,
hear it.
I can almost immediately blend
Yeah.
like some of this. Yeah, I want to hear you do something more
But yeah, that's what I'm working on. So I want to get that within. I'm gonna just say summertime. I don't want to put a release date there, but summertime. I'm just flooding it with the reggaeton, Latin vibes.
That's what's up.
That's what I'm on right now.
Music, you know what I mean?
Well, gracias por venir.
Yeah.
I get to say it in Spanish because I like legit.
Gracias
Gracias.
por invitarme. And I appreciate y'all for real. Like, I think it's dope. Because, I mean, kind of what you touched on, what you said as far as just kind of going back to the mindset, like, yeah, I don't know. I do feel like I got more energy, like a boost. Like, you guys just... I feel with y'all's energy, and it's inspiring. So I appreciate y'all. No, for real, like, thank y'all for having me on this.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for coming on because you've been super helpful for me. You know, I just added him onto the list of whenever I have you guys in rotation. Like when I have a million questions. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask Shator 3 questions. See, and then I'll go do the next 2 with Bullwhip, and then the last one with you, and then see what I get from it. But yeah, you definitely got into the rotation, and that's how we got the. Actually, shit, he's the one who helped catapult this week because I feel like everybody's been Vince, and the 81 Bar and Grill, Maurice.
Angie came through with the shirts.
Oh yeah, and we got to talk to him too. Yeah, so like literally like all the meetings and shit that we got, it's like kind of you put us on. That's part of like the whole invest in using people and and giving back.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess I'm good with everything. We're out.
All right.